So if you're like me and you like editing videos and creating content for YouTube channel, and of course creating video, almost anything, I'm sure that you need an SSD, an external SSD at some point. Okay, so I've been using this Samsung T7 SSD drive. This is the 500 gig one. As a video editor and as someone who likes to create content and capture stuff, a little item like that is going to cost you around 1,700 Rand. Obviously, we like saving money. Let's take a look at a more budget option where you can actually buy two components to build yourself a cheaper and probably even faster and more reliable little external SSD. So first you need the MBE SSD and then the M.2 enclosure. My setup, I used the Kingspec SSD M.2 512GB, including a string USB-C, NVMe, M.2 SSD enclosure. So these are the two things that you need, and you basically just place the SSD inside of the enclosure and you have yourself a really fast little SSD that you can use for gaming or video editing. Now I got both these items from Takealot for the total of 1,000 Rand. Now the SSD was obviously a little bit more expensive than the enclosure. Came in at about 599 and the enclosure came in at about 399. So this setup does not come with stuff like screws. You don't need any tools to actually set this up. You basically plug and play here. Now the cable is split. The cable is actually a USB-C to USB-C input, and then it has another attachment where you can actually plug that's basically attached to the exact same cable that you can plug into a USB-C to normal USB, or if you don't have an extra USB-C that you can plug into on your computer. Now obviously you can get yourself a little hub to basically have some extra USB-C plugs that goes into your computer. So asking the question of why you would actually build your very own SSD from these two components, the big answer is because an already built or basically a normal SSD setup will cost you double the price. My small Samsung SSD is also 500 gig and it performs really well as well, but it came in at about 1.7, which I think that 700 Rand I could have used for some other camera gear. You know what I mean? Yeah, I edit 4K footage. As you can see right now, I am speaking on my Sony a6400, recording in S-Log 3, and this footage is obviously quite large. And seeing that this SSD drive came in so cheap, I'm really impressed by how it edits my videos exactly the same as editing it from the other SSD drive, the Samsung T7. So it gives me the same performance, does not give me any sort of lag when editing my videos. And then in terms of online gaming, like, yeah, you'll have a blast at a great price. So like I said, this SSD can handle modern gaming setups on your computer, as long as your computer is capable of handling that as well. Okay, so another cool thing about the enclosure is that it's actually made out of metal. Yeah, you heard me, it's not plastic, which means that it is secure and safe. So alternatively, this is actually a really great alternative for getting an external SSD to use for your video editing or any hardcore work that you have to do on your computer, including gaming, as I said. So with all of that being said, thank you so much for tuning into my video, and if you are new here, welcome, and subscribe and like this video if you want to see more videos like these. There will be more gear reviews and gear ideas that are way more affordable than the usual, because I'm constantly experimenting with new items that might be good for using, you know, for my content creation process. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you in the next one, and I am out. Ciao.